Thank you, everybody. I know we've had a lot of sessions today, and we have a couple of more, and I am 2 hours away from between you and cocktails. All right, so I know how important that is. Right, we all are. This session is more about how to make money off of technology and eliminate the noise. Who wants to do that in this room? Right, there's so much, like I said this morning, of great technology that we're being offered, some free, some paid. Chris did a great job of talking about all the apps, but when I leave this room today, what's the first thing I do? I'm going to go home, I'm going to check my emails, I'm going to take care of my business stuff. That's the core about what we do. We want to make sure we continue to do that. So what I'm going to walk you guys through is how I help my clients answer the simple question of how do I sell more products with you, John Lim, and the stuff you guys offer. So you're going to see here behind me, what we're looking at are all different opportunities mobile offers. We talked a little bit this morning about a great job the MLS LI is offering you guys of text messaging, QR codes, single property mobilized websites, all the lead gen tools. Right? So all that's now included. Well, the question is, what happens next? What happens after someone texts in? Should I call them back or should I text them in? Does anybody in this room use text messaging service? All right, great. So anyone who wants to participate, let me know that if someone texts into a property at 8:30 in the morning, would you call them or would you text them back? Exactly. Why? Because it's 8:30. So they're texting you with the assumption that you might not be in your office. Now, if they text in around noon, then they're more susceptible for a call back because they're just looking for quick information and they know it's during your business hours. The key to communication is communicating with people the way they want to be communicated with. Does everybody agree that you would send out more emails in a day than make phone calls? Right? Who here has taken off their phone number from their business card? Right? Very few people in the room. But why? Common sense says if everybody's doing emails, then why should I have a phone number? It's still there because that's how some people might want to do business with you. Some people might want to call you, they might want to text you, they might want to find you on social media. Make it available. Make yourself available for that matter in their type of language of communication. And we'll dive into that a little bit more about how you can monetize that. You see here mobile communication tools. Chris talked a minute ago about different text messaging apps and apps to keep in touch with everybody. Any brokers in the room? Great. So imagine I told you that right now you can reach every member of your brokerage within 60 seconds with a 98% open ratio and it not be a boring 160-character black and white text message. You can put a personal video in there congratulating a top agent to your entire firm for the sales they did this month or happy holidays. Those personal touches that we can't do as owners of a company every single day because we want our people on the road, we want them making more money. Now you have the mobile device as a tool to do that, and you can use text messaging to do so. Does anybody know why it's a 98% open ratio? Little spam. Right now, because it has to go through the carriers and it's regulated, number one reason is there's not so much spam as there is in email. The second reason is you can only put 160 characters. So the person opening up who thinks it's very personal, they know they don't have to read a long email you might have sent them or open up a crazy attachment they have to go through and get back to you on. But they can click on a link and play a video. That's how I communicated the birth of my first child. As you guys can see, I lost all that weight from the first baby. Right? So I sent a text message as soon as the baby was born, not Twitter. I don't use Twitter. I don't use Facebook. Right? I'm the prime demographic that everybody's telling you that has to buy a home. 33 years old. I have a wife and 2 kids. I'm on my second home now. I'm the one that's buying homes in my generation, but I don't use Facebook and Twitter. So I use a private text messaging service to communicate to all my personal friends and family that care about me having a child, as opposed to business people that really don't care if I had a child or not. These are different ways to separate that kind of communication. Education. For all you who raise your hand, you're a broker in this market, you guys know how important education is. Right? How important it is to keep people engaged on that. Everybody remember the first time they started driving a car? We all wanted the keys to that car and drive it. But if you didn't learn how to drive the car, you weren't going anywhere. particularly if you learn how to drive stick prior to automatic. Okay? So these are certain things that you want to make sure every firm has, and you guys can get information out there to do so. Who here has ever Googled their company before? Raise your hand. We all have, right? It's like Mount Everest. I'm on the top of Google. I did it. I won that game after 10 years. Well, Google's site works on a mobile device. So does Realtor.com, so does Zillow, so does Trulia, all the places you put your website and your information. But they have millions and millions of dollars. So it's mobilized. When you click, a consumer clicks on your link from a Google site, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com inside the app, it launches your website immediately. If that website's not mobilized, you guys just lost business. Because I can't view that. So I can't manage that the way that I manage your online presence. And that's very, very important. We spend a lot of time, energy, and money, even with social media, trying to get ourselves on the top of the search engines. So when it's homes for sale in Nassau County, I want to be number one. Well, that's great. Up to 33% of the traffic this year for Google is on their mobile device. That's insane. The mobile internet has only been around for a very short period of time, but 33%. There are more phones than there are computers in this country. That's insane. Right? It's the little brother that outpassed the older brother in seconds. And you got to make sure you know how to navigate that. A lot of customers that we have and a lot of people that I see in the industry say it's so expensive to mobilize my site. I say two things, guys. Number one, partners. Anybody here know about co-op marketing? So when I was 19, I sold cell phones inside of Manhattan. That's how I started inside the mobile industry. All right, AT&T gave me co-op marketing for me to advertise in the New York Post and the Daily News. I couldn't afford any of that. I'm 19, I'm starting a company, I'm trying to get it out there. I couldn't afford it. They'd pay 70% of the ad depending on how many phones I sold. You guys have partners in this market that want to help you out, that are outside asking for your money and saying, give me your money to use my products. They make money when you use those services, right? Title, mortgage companies, home warranty companies. Now, legally, they can't give you money to pay for a service like ours. But what can they legally do? They can advertise on your site. And you get to set the advertising rates. You don't have to go CPMs. You can say, listen, I'm going to push mobile. It comes with a mortgage calculator. It's going to cost me $24.95 a month through the association. So I'm going to sell the advertising rights to that mobile mortgage calculator to my lender. I'm happy to keep doing that, guys. I appreciate the breakfast. Keep your Dunkin' Donuts. Pay this provider, okay, for the advertising rights, and you guys don't have to pay for it. Now, let's not kid ourselves. A mortgage company is not going to pay $24.95 unless you're really doing significant business. But they might pay $5. They might pay $10. A cup of coffee is $5. If I was a mortgage lender, I'm happy to buy you a cup of coffee each month that we can talk and do more business. So I'll spend $60 for you. Look at the partners that you have out there today to leverage. It's how I built every company that we've had to date. It's exactly what happens inside of major corporations that have distributors distributing their products. Every cell phone store has it. Every franchise has it. Okay? These are things that you guys can help navigate to get some of that stuff done. And you should ask the question. Be prepared for a no. You ask anybody for money today, the first thing they say is what? No, I don't have it. My budget's to cut. They have $5 for a cup of coffee. If you ask them, hey, listen, let's go out and talk about business, but you're buying coffee. Nobody says no to that. All right? Use that to your advantage. We lost our clicker. Yes?
So how much does it cost for this service?
Because you're part of the MLS Long Island board, it's cost $24.95 a month to mobilize your entire website. Now these next two slides will explain what that means. Okay? So you see here, it's all about the fact that you're trying to squeeze a horizontal image into a vertical image. We've all tried to do that by trying to squeeze our logo, right? Everybody try to put their logo or their picture on like a LinkedIn, has a real small image, and you're trying to squeeze it in, it looks all blurry. It's the same with your site. The internet's built for columns, multiple columns. Google has ads on the right and the left and in the middle. Mobile has one column. So HTML5, all the web providers and all the different things out there that are saying they're going to fix that for you, that's a falsehood. It's a falsehood because the technology in the phone is different than the technology in the computer. You have GPS. You have something called JavaScript. HTML5 looks great on the phone, but it doesn't identify your phone. All right, and if your JavaScript is turned off, which most BlackBerries are, it doesn't work. Who has a BlackBerry in this room? I love it. I used to be a BlackBerry user. I had the old Blueberry. Anybody remember that? Right, yeah, so it was a Blueberry with Nextel. Had the push to talk and the scroll wheel. Yeah, I had that. I'm going to sell it to a museum pretty soon. So the BlackBerry has horrible, horrible GPS service. It doesn't work, really, at all. We're hoping the new system they put out in January, which will force every BlackBerry user to buy a new phone, has that. If your website provider is trying to provide you with a mobile site and it says GPS on your BlackBerry, it's because they're not recognizing it's a BlackBerry. They're just recognizing it's mobile. That's a major problem for you because your consumers don't care. They're going to click GPS, it's not going to work, they're going to leave. So you want to make sure whoever you guys use fixes that problem. And I want to get into something on that side right now as well. There we go. This is a mobilized site. This experience is different on the iPhone, the Android phone, the BlackBerry. It all looks the same, but the functions are different depending on the phone model you have. Because the system that the board has right now identifies down to the phone and the OS system. It knows you're on an iPhone or an Android model and what model that is, or a BlackBerry. When you can serve a pop-up ad, when you cannot. It's extremely important because we're going to get into the user experience in a second, and there's a big difference from what you guys are used to. So I highly recommend that one thing I want you guys to leave with, go home, take your phone out, and a friend that has a different phone than you, look at your site on there, see how it looks, see how it functions. Okay? Then go back to your vendors and or anyone out there, including us, and ask the questions, how do I mobilize it? But before you ask one vendor how to fix your mobile solution, go to their site. Okay? If a vendor can't power themselves, they cannot power you. Imagine for a second being at the dentist. You're sitting in that chair, that light's shining down on you, and you hear the zzzz. And all of a sudden, you're about to get your teeth pulled, and you look up, and the doctor, the dentist, has no teeth. Raise your hand if you're going to stay in that chair, or you're gone like the Roadrunner. Right? If a vendor cannot power themselves, how in the world are they going to power you? That holds true in technology. You don't buy a website from a guy who doesn't have his own website. You don't buy a mobilized product from someone who doesn't have their own mobilized product. These are things that you need to have. The same as you don't buy a house from someone who's homeless. Yes?
Is it separate expense to give me service on the, let's say, the iPhone plus my tab and my MacBook?
No, so we believe in, we believe in zero discrimination. So it's the same fee to run on all the devices. All right, here's another myth you guys need to be made aware of. Never, ever, ever buy a .mobi site. Okay? That URL at the end says .mobi or .com, .net. It's a complete waste. Everybody goes to .com. Okay? So if you have your .com, you're going to keep it that way. If you can't get a .com and you love the name so much and you got .net, that's okay too. I had that experience before. But you don't need a .mobi to make your site mobile. Your mobile website should work with the URL that's in your pocket right now on all your business cards. And if a vendor can't do that for you, leave the conversation. You're wasting your time. Okay, the board now can do that, guys, for all of you. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, so in other words, my website is barbara.com.
Yes.
So anybody should just be able to put Barbara McDermott in?
Correct. So when I go to your site from my phone, what happens is the technology picks up that it's a mobile phone. Then it picks up that it's an iPhone with an iOS 4 and serve this proper experience. If I go to that same site at the exact same time on this laptop, it's going to pick up that it's a laptop. Okay? Serve the experience that it's meant to serve online. That's how it should happen.
So, I'm sorry to finish. So, in order to optimize my website for mobility, I go through my host?
No. No. So I'm not saying don't go through your host. I'm not here to sell you guys any products. I own the company. I founded it. We're outside. The board is doing you guys a great deal by eliminating the setup and paying $24.95. But if you have a host that provides something like that, talk to them, see if they're doing it, see if there's an extra charge, but you got to ask a couple of questions, right? Do you know that I'm looking at my phone from a BlackBerry, or do you know that it's just mobile? So vet your vendors.
So you can host it in all the devices, it's just one fee.
Yes.
Mobile and the laptop and the regular computer.
Not the laptop and regular computer are completely separate from the mobile. This one covers your iPhone, your Android, your BlackBerry, your Samsung. Every mobile device in the country is going to cover. And that's very important. Because we're going to get now down to, in a second, the user experience. So you just saw a presentation about apps, right? If you search real estate in your iPhone apps, you're going to see 3 major sites: Realtor.com, Zillow, and Trulia. You don't want an app for yourself in the App Store and promote that to other people who are going to see competitors with probably better apps than you have and use their service. There's technology called a gateway application. It was invented by Google about 8 years ago. So for Google, you could download the app to your phone, and it was a gateway. And it just said Google and had a search feature there. Once you put the information in the search feature, it used the mobile internet to pull that information. But the great thing about it is you download it from google.com, you didn't have to go to the App Store to get it. We spend so much time, energy, and money promoting ourselves, our sites, our emails. But once you have my interest, don't send me to another store to buy it. Let me download it right from your site. It looks and functions just like an application on your phone. So you'll see here the icon downloads right to your phone. A very important business tool that happens. So we're talking, we're at a barbecue, we're having a good time. I get you to go to my site, right there it pops up, download this. So now you download the icon on your iPhone. That person can search all the properties in the neighborhood, in all of the MLS. And the greatest thing mobile offers is one click-to-call number. Right, everybody use that feature. You get a text message with a phone number in it, you press it, and it automatically opens your phone and starts calling. Well, that's the greatest thing about mobile. That's the greatest thing about having your own mobilized site, even if your broker provides one, is that with all the properties that are there, yes, it does list, this property has been presented by Coldwell Banker Homes and the broker name, but the one click-to-call button is yours because you've paid that fee to have that. The gateway application allows you the power of the app without having to go to the App Store and compete with realestate.com, Realtor.com, Trulia, or Zillow, which are going to have better apps because they put millions of dollars behind it. So I highly recommend if you guys want that icon on your phone, looking at the gateway application, it's a great way to do that, it's a great way to market, and it has all that power of the click-to-call site on it.
You call it Call-Me?
Sorry?
What do you call this app?
Oh, we coined the phrase gateway application because it's a gateway to your site. And yeah, this is just something that more information afterwards you can come by the booth and we'll talk about it. I'll show you how it works. But one thing about the gateway app that I love the most that people don't realize, every app in real estate needs the internet to power the search. So if you try to look at your app on a plane, even though it's native, you can't search new properties because they're not downloaded to your phone. So every app needs the mobile internet to power that search feature. But now this app allows you to do that without having to compete with the big guys. And it's very personal. And you can have any branding logo you guys want on there. Yes?
Anybody can put this app on their phone?
Correct. Yeah.
You tell your customer, okay, put the gateway app and then you can get my website?
You can get my website. You can get all the listings in the area. You can use GPS. If you find something you like, press a button and call me. Yes, yes. From your MLS IDX feed, all the properties. You could tell your customer, or when they go to your website from a mobile device, maybe it's not your customer for a second, right? I just access your site from my phone. It'll say at the bottom there, install the iPhone application, install the Android application.
If they access my website from their phone.
Correct. If you're talking to a buyer, you tell them to download it directly. Yes?
So is the logical place to start pushing this alongside like an SMS text kind of thing?
I do. So I have text John to 88500.
What I'm saying is like somebody goes, you got a text sign up on one of your listings. They see the sign.
Good question.
Is it put on the bottom of that to say more, like, is that the logical place to put it?
Correct. So the service that was announced this morning that you guys have, let's say you have 5 listings, okay? When I text into one of your listings, it'll give me the option at the bottom of that page, see all my listings. If you purchase the IDX, the mobile IDX from the board, it'll then say, instead of see all my listings, it'll say, see the entire listings in Long Island. When they click on that, that has that experience and allows them to download that app right to the phone. So from single property to all the properties. Okay, you're tying the marketing in together, which is very important. All the tools you guys will receive Monday morning, they're all single property tools for your personal listings. They don't help out your buyers, for that matter. You need the gateway application or the full mobile IDX to help out the buyer side. But you can go from single property to every property in the MLS through that connection. It's all about connectivity right now. Yes, even without the gateway application. So like the gentleman answered before, I text in, I get all the property. At the bottom it says, see all the properties in the neighborhood right now.
How do you text it? What do you tell the customer to text it?
Well, there's a few things. So every property that you insert in the MLS as of Monday morning will be mobilized. Let me tell you what that means. You get a text code tied directly to that property. You get a QR code tied directly to that property, and a URL for single property mobile website, which you can use for Twitter or emails, tied to that property. All you have to do is copy and paste that, put it on your signs, put it on your marketing pieces, or just tell people, text in to get that information. It's zero cost for everybody in this room and zero effort for everybody in this room. Yes, well, that's the board's upgrade. That's the $24.95 we just mentioned. That mobilizes your entire site and it mobilizes your entire MLS properties with only your phone number tied to it.
Okay, and if you want a customer to look at a certain listing, you just give them what that barcode with it?
Well, you can give them the QR code or the text messaging code or the URL.
Is that code going to be as Monday on existing listings
Yes.
as well?
Yep.
You don't re-enter it.
Yeah, over the weekend I'm going to work on doing all the properties manually myself, so don't enter them until Monday.
If they're interested in one property, I just tell them, okay, take this QR code, text it, and they'll see the information on that one property.
Correct. And we'll get into the definition of text and QR codes, because I think QR codes have been a big thing in the industry that people don't realize how powerful they are and how bad they can be if you put them in the wrong place. So that's something that we'll dive into in a second. If I could just get my mouse here working. We're going to skip this slide as you guys have already seen this information. So here's how it works. Okay, the property comes in, we mobilize it through the engine, and those are the 3 tools that we just talked about that you guys are going to get. Okay, we'll have webinars on it. The board is doing a great job putting some training together. I've spoken to the staff. Everything you need to know about this and how to use it, you'll have people there to support you. I'm a big believer in support. You need to know how to use this to make money. You guys have too much going on to worry about new technology, okay? So how do I make money using mobile? Let's start with the QR codes for a second. Who here has used QR codes in their marketing? All right? Have you just put it on a marketing piece? All right, just a blank QR code? We make an assumption, which everybody knows the definition of assume, right? So we make an assumption that if I just put this QR code on a piece of paper, people are going to scan it. Well, it's almost like just putting a phone number, okay, or a website. People might or might not know how to do it. Why not put scan now to see the inside of this property? There has to be a call to action in all marketing. Go back to the basics, everybody. Go back to what made you great when you started before Facebook, before the iPhone. Common sense business practices. Scan this link to get something. Let me tell you to scan it. Okay, not just put it out there. All right, let me tell you to text in. Text now to see all the pictures. Text now to get inside the house. Our sign writers that we produce, for more property information, pictures, and pricing, text now to do it. You know what you're getting. And you want to do that. And it also makes the person who has done that a little bit more interested. Wouldn't you rather take phone calls or take leads from somebody who took an extra step to get that information? Right? They're a little bit more serious than the person who just picked up a phone and called you and said, hey, I'm looking for a home. What do you got? Well, what kind of home are you looking for? I don't know. I just want a house. What do you got in mind? So this technology allows you to do some of that. The other things, QR codes, okay? To give you some stats, it's about 45 million people scanned a QR code last year, primarily for coupons or offers. QR codes are phenomenal in print magazines and/or newspaper advertisements for one reason that has nothing to do with technology: disruption. Okay? Think about when you're reading a book. Why do they put pictures in that book? It changes the pace of all the words. Well, the QR code does the same thing. And then people start saying, I've seen that on all my plants at Home Depot that I bought this summer. Or I've seen that in Vanity Fair. At the bottom, you can put need a reader, text now to get a reader. So if they don't have a reader, they text in, they can get a reader to their phone, and you can get the lead. There are ways to use the technology without having it be technologically savvy for the consumer. All I hear from everybody all the time is, I don't use it so my consumers don't use it. I'm 33 years old. I have 2 children. I'm not on Facebook. So either I'm the dumbest man in the world or I don't use it for a reason. I don't use Facebook because I can't handle the noise in my day-to-day life. I have so many people to get back to and so many things to do. I can't handle another piece of technology that creates more noise. Right? It's very important, guys. Another thing that I want you to take back. So we have one thing to take back. Check your site. Check your site on your mobile device. Make sure it's working. If not, get that fixed. That's not a want, guys. It's a need. This year, up to 33% of the traffic, mobile device. In 2 years, it'll be 80% of the traffic, 100% of that traffic. You need to get that fixed. You're bleeding right now. How bad are you bleeding? It depends how good of a marketer you've been the last 5 years. Second thing, vet your vendors. Check their stuff out before they try to sell you. Before your web provider says, I have a mobile solution. Well, your site doesn't work, so how do I know you're going to be there for me when I really need it? Or you have all the features. The next thing is, I want everybody Monday morning, take 15 minutes of your day, okay? Just 15 minutes. Shut your email down, take your phone out of the room, write down every single social media site and every single site you go to from a news site and things that you think you need to do to operate your business. Write them all down. Then write down, like a radio station, time chart, 9 o'clock, 9:15, 9:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock. Do a whole legal pad that way. It's what I do for every employee that we have. And then the next day, look at every 15 minutes of your day and just jot down what you did. Talk to a client, went on Facebook, looked at pictures. The radio business makes their money every second of the day. They can't go over that 15-minute time clock or that 5-minute time clock. You'll then find out what technology you don't need. You'll find out really quick in 48 hours what technology is hurting your business. All I've heard for the last 2 years, if you're not on Facebook, you're going to lose business. Okay? Don't believe that. If you don't follow me, this guy on Twitter, you're not going to be informed. Okay? I didn't do that either, and we're making it work. I use LinkedIn, though. Okay? And what I love about LinkedIn, it allows me to get contact information from people, and then when I reach out to them on LinkedIn, they know it's about business. There's no questions asked. If I reach you on Facebook or I like you or join your fan, you don't know what I'm there for. I might want to follow you. I might want to see pictures. You might add something cool. But on LinkedIn, you know I'm all about my business. So that's a tool that I would definitely look at. But do that test. Seriously, my guys who make commission in my office would always tell me, John, I don't have enough time to make all these phone calls. You go to a show, you bring back more cards than you can imagine. I don't have time. All right, let me see what you got. Give me that legal pad, and I can tell you how you can make some more time. We all need breaks throughout the day. Let's not kid ourselves. But that lunch break that I use, I'll either read the Wall Street Journal, I'll look at what's going on inside real estate, I'll look at certain things or reports, but I'm always constantly making sure that I'm not lost on a Facebook. I'm not browsing. So let me talk to you real quick about browsing. 10 minutes on your computer is 1 minute on your phone. Think about that for a second, okay? After 60 seconds of your mobile device, you're mentally checked out if you don't get what you want. We are in an I want it now society. I got 10 minutes left, so it's like having, 1 minute on my phone. You want to make sure that whatever you do for your mobilized products or you put out on mobile, it's quick, it's efficient. Maybe it doesn't have heavy videos that everybody's talking about. I think videos are the future inside of real estate, but they're the future online. Quick videos, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, are the future on mobile. Why is that? Because of AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile, Alltel. We have too many carriers in this country. Your service will always be as crappy as it is in the crappy zones and as good as it is in the good zones until we eliminate more carriers. That's not going to change. So make sure your content is quick, it loads fast, and it's highly relevant. That's very important on the mobile side. So let's get back into how we make some money. Who in this room does listings? Right? Listing presentations are a big part of your day. You want to go out, you want to get more homes, you want to lock the security in of owning that commission. Show me the demographics recently of the home buyers are in the 35 to 45 range. Well, show me that you're going to have every tool I need to market my property. And that's not showing me a card that has every icon of a social link that exists. Okay? I don't care if you use 50 social links. I know you can't physically manage that in your day. But do something impressive. Let me come in, right? Come into that folder that you bring in, scan a QR code from that folder, and say, listen, you guys have seen this QR code stuff? It's very, very hot right now. In Korea, you can buy groceries with a QR code. These are things that people are interested in. We all have an inner geek inside of us. We all want to be the guy who can hack, right? Recently, a guy got arrested down in Jacksonville for hacking Scarlett Johansson's emails. That guy's on the news today. Is it relevant to what's going on in the world? Is it more important than presidential candidates, than Wall Street protests? No. But he did something cool, something geekish, and he got on the news. So show your potential home seller that you have it covered. It works on the mobile device, which everybody has. You can text in right now and get my business card. You can scan a QR code and see the property. These are things that will help you get more listings. It's very important you guys think about that in your presentations. I also recommend taking your presentation. If you have an iPad, use your iPad for the presentation. It's a little cool. Don't not bring the paper. Let me make that very clear. Bring the paper. All right? We love paper in America. We really, really do. We love technology, but we love paper. We love to touch and feel it. But that QR code can make that paper talk afterwards. It could be a personal video of you saying, so if you gave it to me and I had to show it to my wife, hey, listen, I love this realtor. Scan her code and she'll tell you in that little commercial why you should let her sell your home. I think it's phenomenal. She went to that trouble to do so. I want her behind me. These are things that we think about, okay, because we know how we're communicating that way as well. So the mobile listing sheets are important. Mobilized websites, again, I can't stress it enough. We're all bleeding. You got to fix that. If you hand out your business card today and your site's not mobile, you can lose 18 to 33% of your business. That's insane when you think about that. I'm the crazy guy who was telling you handing out your business cards can lose business. But it's true, and I've seen it happen, and there are some good stats that we're happy to email you guys on that side of it. So I want to dive into QR codes real quick for the last few minutes and get into any questions you guys might have so I can clear the air. QR codes have been the biggest pain in our business, in my business, inside of real estate the last 12 months. And I'll tell you why. It's kind of like that realtor that you're competing against that just got into the business, that's doing everything wrong, but happens to have the ear of that potential seller. Doesn't that drive you crazy? A lot of mobile companies are doing QR codes wrong. And let me tell you how. QR codes are free. Never, ever, ever pay for a QR code. They're free. We use Google's API to feed it in. Number one, two mistakes in QR codes. One, you scan it, it doesn't go to a mobile website. That's the biggest mistake I've seen in the entire industry. Why? Because you can't get this information without using a mobile device. You can't take your computer or your webcam and scan this code. It's only from a mobile phone. You've got to make sure that content is mobilized. All right, Home Depot. For those of you who think QR codes are going to go away, Home Depot, on every plant in America had a QR code on it to tell you about that plant and how to plant it and what kind of water or lighting they needed. Every SKU in Best Buy has a QR code. Macy's. Everyone see the recent ad for Macy's with the QR code in the star? These are not companies who are so technologically savvy that they're just doing it because it's cool. They're doing it because it works. And it works well when done correctly. The second thing, put a call to action. That QR code right there doesn't say scan me. Why would I scan it? What do I get out of it? Let's not kid ourselves. We all care about what we get out of it, right? What's in it for me? I scan the code, do I get a discount? Then I'm going to do it. I scan the code to see inside that house, and I'm standing outside, then I'm going to do it. I'm reading my magazine, I'm taking the LIRR into Manhattan, I scan the code so I can get information while I'm doing that, I'm going to do it. Tell me why I should scan this code. Tell me. Sorry? Yeah, I mean, QR codes stand for quick response. So I mean, that's something that you want to handle, but make sure that you tell me why I'm going to do that. So now before I open up to any major questions, I want to tell you guys about some cool technology that'll be here. It's here now, but it'll be here in real estate strong in the next 12 to 18 months. Anybody hear about NFC technology? NFC technology stands for Near Field Communication. Okay? This is not something you guys should get involved in right now. I'm here telling you to eliminate the noise, and I'm kind of giving you some more noise, but it's something you should be aware of. Google Wallet just launched with Sprint last week. Google Wallet is like SpeedPass at the mobile station. Well, NFC is a technology that makes that happen. In 12 months from now, as opposed to scanning a QR code, or 18 months, scanning a QR code or texting in, you're going to be able to touch that sign and download the information. Touch the door and open it up. It's called touch technology, is what we call it internally. And it's all done by a little sticker that I'll show you guys at the booth. One little label can control all of that touch technology. It's really exciting. It's really cool technology. It's things that we'll keep everybody informed with here in Long Island as it's coming out. But it's something that is coming, and you guys just want to be aware of it so you guys are ahead of the rest. Anybody have any questions about how to make money using mobile? Yes? So what I'm saying with the BlackBerry is you can absolutely use the mobile internet on the BlackBerry. The problem with the BlackBerry is GPS. So GPS is a feature mobile has invented, for that matter. And the key is that you press the GPS and it pulls the properties near this area that I'm in. On the BlackBerry, it should never be offered because the GPS technology to pull that in doesn't work correctly. So it's a bad user experience. And I can give you an example of that when you come by the booth.
So what is the phone that you're recommending?
If you do not like to customize anything, if you like it just to be there for you, then you want an iPhone. If you like to customize things, the Google Nexus S, an Android model, is the best Android phone on the market.
I just had one of those. It's horrible service.
Well, the service I can't help you out with. That's carrier. But the customization is what's important.
But there's a thing on the phone that.
Yes. Yeah. In the front.
Back to this gateway application, how do you get it? Does it come in the App Store? I'm really kind of confused.
No. So it's something that we offer, that we trademarked. Other providers can do that technology if they have it. We haven't seen a mobile person provide it, but some web guys do. But if you come by the table, we're happy to show you how it works and then really how to use it.
Hi. I haven't seen a QR code. We don't have QR codes on our listings right now, do we?
You will have it Monday morning.
So they're going to provide QR codes and a URL and a text message code?
Absolutely.
On every listing?
Yep. You can use the ones you want. You don't have to use both or all three. The tools are there. They're separate and combined. You use what you think is necessary.
So we will give this to our customers. That's what this is for.
Put them on your signs. Put them on your print marketing. Start capturing that side of mobile. in the back.
Besides the mobile website hosting do you also do the regular website hosting?
We don't. We have people we recommend, but we're mobile specialists. We only specialize in mobile.
Well, I've heard, and I'm a little concerned, well, very concerned about this, is that, and I don't know if it's accurate, because I haven't checked it on Snopes yet, but the corruptibility on QR, it's very similar, the report is, to a link. And if somebody sends out spam and you click on that link, they can capture all of your goodies. And it seems to be popping up with QR.
Well, it's going to pop up anywhere. QR is only driving you to a link anyway. That's all it really does. So, when you scan a QR code, right, a lot of that has the bit.ly links, what most people use. You don't know where that content's going. So that's why you want to make sure, I only scan QR codes from trusted sources. People who have paid for that marketing side to put it out there. If you place money in an ad and you're a realtor, I don't think that you're going to actually scam my phone or crash it for that matter. But the phones have capability of preventing some of that. So your iPhone prevents a lot of that crashing. Android has the crashability. And BlackBerry, as you guys saw yesterday, if you have a BlackBerry phone, has that vulnerability as well.
Is
Yes.
there any system that can block and spam all the phony QR codes?
No. There's no system that can be.
Because someone can create any other barcode to break in the system and get information.
Well, yeah, again, it's only going to a link. So you depend on your device for that. Yes, in the corner.
Do you know the go-around for the BlackBerry GPS problem?
We are told from RIM that their new OS system in January will improve that. They built a whole new OS system in which you have to buy a new phone for to have the better technology, unfortunately. The only go-around is you put it in your address. There's no secret sauce for that side. And now I have to wrap it up. Any last-minute questions real quick?
The latest BlackBerry phone, you also have to get it?
Yeah.
Like the one in
Their new OS system. They put out new phones to compete with the iPhone. The new one is going to change in January. Thank you, everybody, for your time. I really appreciate it.